What's going on, everybody? It's Fandom Empire Live, the final Fandom Empire Live of 2021. I have no idea what the hell's going on right now. I know there were supposed to be 5 of us on tonight. Mike's dealing with a personal issue. Hopefully he'll be able to make it. And Johnny is missing in action. What that action is, who knows? But apparently he's missing. Joining us tonight, rocking his I Guess I'll Just Go Fuck Myself t-shirt. Kieran, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Just got back from celebrating the holiday with my pops, so it was pretty good. I made it just in time for the show. Very exciting, fun show to do. Hard list to put together, but yeah, doing pretty good. I went out for a long walk today. Got myself a new Star Wars novel, which was exciting, and I listened to a Star Wars novel on the way.
Nice.
So,
which one did you buy?
Into the Dark. It's one of the High Republic ones. It's
Claudia Gray. Yeah.
Claudia Gray. Yeah, I've heard lots of good things. So
she's a fantastic author. Not just her Star Wars stuff, but like just in general.
I think she's probably the biggest name that was signed on to do the High Republic books, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest one that I can think of. I know Timothy Zahn's like tied up with his Thrawn stuff. So
yeah.
Also joining us, man, myth, legend, and all-around grumpy guy, Tommy B. What's going on, man?
I'm not a fucking grumpy guy. You're a fucking piece of shit. How about that?
This is a Tommy shirt. Have you read this shirt? It's pretty negative.
That's right. You should go fuck yourself. You know what? No, before we're not gonna make a thing out of this, but I just got something to say here. I saw I got tagged in a post, or it popped up. I forget what the fuck happened, suggesting the stereotype that you Canadians, you people, are very nice people. And I just have to say, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In my experience, that is a complete fucking lie.
No.
You Canadians are very, very, very not nice people.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
I think you got hit on the head, man.
One time I went to Columbus, Ohio, and I held the door open for someone at the mall, and 3 people went through the door as I held the door for them, and they all looked at me like, "What the fuck are you doing? I can hold my own goddamn door." And I was like, oh, this is, we do this in Canada. We do this. Sorry.
Yo, I was in Columbus one time for like a bus transfer, and in the same conversation, in about like 2, maybe 5 minutes at the absolute most, I had a guy try to sell me presumably stolen shoes, weed, and then ask me if I was a cop.
Hey, at least you got to go into a weed store when you were up here. Just saying, throwing that out there. I mean, in terms of bad experiences with people from other countries, I met.
Don't you start this? Don't you say shit?
I met this person one time. We were at like I guess it was like a shopping mall or a shopping center. You know how like there's malls and there's like outlet stores. It was like a mall, I guess. And dude was a dick. All he did was throw a Tim Hortons employee under the bus for not knowing how he was ordering his food. And like first thing out of his mouth, he just nonstop fucking throwing Canadians under the bus. And oh man, that guy was a real piece of shit.
I don't know. Sounds like a great person. I'd like to meet them.
Yeah. Well, today on the show, this is again, we don't know really what is going on right now, so we're stalling a little bit here at the beginning. So we'll just talk about some random fandom stuff, do some Q&A if anybody has a question and or comment they want to throw in there.
You guys checking out Book of Boba Fett tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I'm not sure when though. I'm debating about going live. I just don't know if I have the willpower to wake up and do it, and then off I go. Or if it'll be late tomorrow night. I don't know. I'll see it at some point, but I'm probably gonna stay off the internet for a good chunk of tomorrow. So
I gotta work at 7. I gotta work 7 to 1 tomorrow, so I probably won't watch it till later.
stay off the internet.
Well, I'm certainly not watching it at like 3 a.m. I'll tell you that right now, but I'll probably watch it early in the morning.
So I heard that all the like marketing material we've seen from that show so far is literally only the first half of episode 1.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That sounds great.
So,
wasn't that mostly true for The Mandalorian too?
yeah, and then like 2 episodes in, they had a really big leak go out on the internet, and that's how we knew there was the Thrawn reference coming and Ahsoka coming, but we never knew for certain Luke was coming. We knew a Jedi was going to show up, but we didn't know it was going to be Luke. Although, I mean, I guess the options are limited during that time.
I got a question for you guys. You guys do New Year's resolutions? Are you big on New Year's resolutions?
I don't typically, but I have a couple this year.
I do it every year. I'm like really, I don't know. I do it every year, and I usually have a couple, and I find that New Year's is like the best time to just start something. And I have a few this year. I want to take my saxophone playing to a new level, so I'm actually gonna get a teacher and take some lessons, which I really want to do. I'm always losing weight. Every time January comes, I gotta lose some weight, just like everyone else. But I normally do it for a couple months and then it wears off. So I normally do lose weight around this time. I'm already down 20 something pounds at the moment, but I got 30 more to go, I think. And then yeah, like I usually try to get something in there.
Yeah, I'm down, I think, around 15, but I would like to drop about 75 more, but I know that's not going to happen overnight. So,
it's a long project.
Feeling good about it though.
Well, yeah, you're already, 20% into that goal, right? So it's definitely good progress. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do where everybody would do it if it wasn't so hard.
Oh, for sure.
Like all the exercise I do and all the I want to eat something bad. It's like, this is why nobody else, this is why most people fail at losing weight, or they do it and then they gain it back. Like I quite often do. So yeah, that's it. It's only hard because otherwise everyone would do it. Everyone would be in great shape if it was easy.
So, we have our Star Wars fandom show that's going to start here in the new year, probably second week of January. And it would have started a couple weeks ago, and then all the controversy came out about Star Wars Eclipse, and that was not how I wanted to start a brand new Star Wars show, talking about something that we may or may not ever get. It seems to be at the forefront still, but at least now there will be a couple episodes of Book of Boba Fett out, and we can really focus in on something positive rather focusing in on something negative from multiple point of views. So there is that. Let me get rid of that.
You want to talk about the new year? I'll tell you my resolution. Yeah.
Fuck yourself less.
He's getting a haircut.
Fuck no. Nah, my New Year's resolution is I need to stop being such a nice person.
Oh.
I need to be a little more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I'm just so agreeable, and I'm just so nice to everybody. I need to really put my foot down more and tell people, I guess I'll just go fuck myself. I guess you should just go fuck yourself. So let me start here by again reiterating to that guy wearing the I guess I'll just go fuck myself shirt that Kieran should go fuck himself.
He didn't even do anything. I mean, not that I'm one to stick up for him.
He's wearing the shirt that is my namesake.
Fine, I'll take the shirt off.
We can charge money for that. Save that another time.
Honestly, I'm getting to a point where I think I could charge money for it. I'm gonna have abs in a couple of pounds, I think.
The the biggest myth I've ever heard. Tommy B, nice guy. Yeah, right.
In all fairness, I am a fairly agreeable person.
It starts off that way, and then you just like, he's so nice and whatever, and then you meet him in person, and then he's like fuck you, and like he's throwing all these F-bombs. He was like, I'm getting the fuck out of Canada. You people are shit. Like, he was so
I'm not
mean
gonna
on the
lie.
way out.
The swearing, that is authentically me. It really is. It really is. And these guys know it. I swear. I cuss. It's just me, like 24/7.
Man,
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that as a good goal.
I can picture me being a fucking parent. Like, for real, my kid's gonna be like Eric fucking Carton. Why didn't you just go buck yourself?
Oh my god.
Is that your Batman impression again?
Yeah, I think so. Tommy B's
No,
back.
that was a baby Eric Cartman impression.
I don't even really know what to say to that, dude. You know what I'm pretty hooked on though at the moment is Yellowstone. We're on like episode 1 of season 4.
Ooh, you skipped season 3 really quick.
Yeah, we did. Although I'll be honest, I thought season 2 was better than season 3.
I've heard that.
It's still good though. I mean, it's a very compelling show. I think the fact that they have a bunch of characters that are not, hey, good guy, bad guy, but like everyone's like shades of gray is very.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh man, I think Jade's dad asked me that the other day, and I don't know if I have an answer. I don't. There's just a very like. I watch it because there's a lot of compelling characters on the show. With
and they're realistic because they're not all. None of them are. I'm the good guy and they're the bad guy. They're all in the middle. They're all
much
in their own interests and their family's interests. Normally, they're not. They're not altruistic characters or anything like that. They're in it for them and their family.
Yeah, I don't know if I had to choose one right now. It's probably Rip, but
that's me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Rip.
I don't know if I have a number 2. He'd probably be the number 1. But just the cast in general is really good. It makes the show very believable, and I think that's a good thing. And the show very much it's not, but it feels like Sons of Anarchy. You can tell there's a lot of nods to Sons of Anarchy there. Obviously, it helps being the person who created the show and directed most of it in the first couple of seasons is hail from Sons of Anarchy. So it just feels just natural, and I'm digging it. And we got to see like a little snippet of 1883. We haven't started it yet, and even that looks really good. So like they definitely have a bit of a gold mine on their hands right now.
Yeah, I know. I could see the show blowing up to that sort of level of the Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, sort of level where you're the top show on TV and everyone's talking about you. Like,
it does feel like it's that level of a show.
I feel like the popularity hasn't caught up yet, but I think it's starting to get there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd heard about it for a couple of years. It's really hard to get me to watch something new. I just finally heard so many positive things from so many different people that it's like, okay, well, I know this person and I usually disagree with them, and I know this person and I usually agree with them, and they both love it. So, I mean, I got to give it a shot. And it's been great. I mean, to me, you don't even have to be like, oh, I'm into the whole Cowboys thing in order to get into this show. I think you don't really need that.
No, I'm about as far from a Cowboy as it possibly gets, to be honest.
Oh, same. And I mean, to be honest, my family ties are much closer to the natives. My family's Native American, right? So, but yet in the show, like I think Jade's sister asked me the other day, do I find myself on this side more or that side more because of it? I'm like, I'll be honest, I think I'm on the Dutton side more. I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but I mean, the story's told from their point of view, right? So it's hard not to get connected to those characters, just as if it's told from another point of view, you probably get connected to those characters as well.
Yeah.
Another show.
It's like when you watch Sons of Anarchy and then you watch Mayans. The Mayans were always assholes as far, like They had to make deals with them all the time, but like whenever they got going, they were always the bad guy. Whereas in the Mayan show, they're not the bad guy, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Another TV show for Tommy to catch up on.
I don't even know what this show is about.
I just told you it's about fucking cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tommy the hater the Tommy.
Yeah.
So are we gonna wait around all night, or are we gonna get into some lists?
We're gonna dive into this. We can't really wait any longer, but just in general, 2021 started off as a year where we didn't know how much access we were going to have to a movie theater. It's seen day and date releases for movie theaters and online streaming for a lot of movies. I would say all in all, though, 2021 ended up being a fairly decent year for movies. I don't think it was the best year ever, but when you look at the quality of movies that came out this year, I think it's pretty good. What did you guys think?
Terrible. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah?
A bunch of shit.
Honestly, I put together this list, and there are a few movies that I want to see. I still haven't seen Eternals, and I've heard that that's something I will like. I really want to see the movie Cop Shop. I thought that looked great, but I'm going to wait for streaming for that. There's a few other ones I haven't seen yet that I think could make this list. But with the movies I have seen, there's not a lot that sticks out. Like the bottom of my list is movies I kind of enjoyed. And, the top 4 or 5 movies are movies I really enjoyed.
How many movies did you see in total, Kieran? Maybe that's something we should all, say.
On my list that I thought could have made the list, I had 18 movies. So 18 movies were in contention. There's probably 2 or 3 other movies I saw and was like, well, I'm not putting that on my list. So I would say I saw like 20 movies this year.
Yeah, mine was almost 30.
I came out with about 14 or 15. 2 of them were like an anime film adaptation of sorts. They were kind of on the short side, so I just combined them into one entry. But yeah, I didn't get around to seeing things like Dune and some of the other big releases.
Dune's another one. I think Dune would make my list for sure, but
probably
I
would
end up seeing it.
Yeah. But when I was making mine, I kind of just went for the whole idea. So what did I really enjoy and what do I want to see, again? And, it's no secret out there. I'm a big animation fan. The wife and I like to watch a lot of animated films. A bunch of them I ended up seeing I really enjoyed. We just watched that in Kanto last night, but I just have no desire to watch them again anytime soon. Like for my own purpose. No.
That's what I think too. I think about, do I remember enjoying the movie? And then I think, would I want to watch it again? And not just, in terms of lots of the Marvel movies, you might watch them again doing a watch through, but do I want to specifically watch that movie again? And one of my movies was a complete surprise. It's way up on my list. And it's because I probably would like to watch it a few times again. So I slid it way up the list, and it's going to be a surprise for you guys, I think. But yeah, most of them were like, hey, did I enjoy it? Did I enjoy watching it? Would I want to watch it again? And that factored into a lot of them. Some of the movies I kind of enjoyed, and but it was like, will I really ever get back to watching it again? And I think that affected a lot of my opinions, a lot of my decisions on that. So.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to jump into this list. And if either of them decide to grace us with their presence, they can just catch up and give their movies one at a time. I'll kick things off. Number 10 on my list, and we're just going to do them one at a time. Number 10 on my list is The Suicide Squad. I thought it was much better than that first movie. And I thought King Shark was fucking hilarious. Definitely one of the better characters to grace the big screen in 2021. I thought John Cena was decent in the movie. The only thing I didn't like is we seen it at a drive-in and the lighting was terrible. But other than that, it was a really good experience. It's a fun popcorn flick. By no means one of the best comic book movies of all time, though.
Yeah, no, I have it on my list, and I really liked it too. I thought they did really good character work. I liked the character work in the first one. However, the script, like the characters were cool. However, like the mission they went on and the plot was all just really terrible, like really terrible. So I was excited to see another Suicide Squad movie. I mean, spoiler alert, this movie's been out for a while, but I was disappointed at some of the characters that didn't make it really quickly, because I liked a lot of those actors and wanted to see them around longer. But like I would have rather seen Pete Davidson be in it longer. I was a big fan of him, even though now pretty much everyone is. He's like one of the biggest it things right now, but at that time it wasn't quite that way. But anyways, I thought the movie was great. I liked it. Same thing. I liked the girl who played Ratcatcher as well, and it was pretty cool. I thought it was a good movie.
What'd you have at number 10?
My number 10 is Black Widow. I actually like Black Widow more than I mean, I don't have Shang-Chi on this list. I did like that movie. I like Black Widow quite a bit more. I like the family dynamic in the movie. I thought the sister was awesome, and her father, the Red Guardian, was also really cool. David Harbour, I think his name is, right?
Yep.
Thought he did a really good job. He was hilarious, being a fat, out of shape Russian Captain America. I do think that this movie it didn't hit so hard because it was a prequel for a character you already know is gone, and you knew that the stakes weren't really that high because it's a prequel, and you know that everything's going to end up all right, and it can't hit you very hard by having the Black Widow pass away because we already know that happened. So I think it lost some of its punch, as well, being delayed a few times, but I thought overall, like, it was a much more memorable Marvel movie than some of the other ones that have come out recently. So,
yeah. I mean, and the controversy that was surrounding the film certainly didn't really help it. It may have made some more eyes go onto it, though. So it's hard to say. David Harbour is actually one of the mainstay characters in Stranger Things.
yeah,
they really like to put him in Russia, so that's a little bit of a funny element there they did with him.
Yeah.
What about you, Tommy? What do you have at number 10?
I was a little bit close for some of these bottom ones. My number 10, I ended up, as of like 30 seconds ago, with Fear Street Part 2. It's a good film, it's not that I disliked it. I really loved how it, paid homage to Friday. Just, of the 3 installments, it's the lower tier for me.
And I mean, hey, Carry On My Wayward Son was played multiple times in the movie, so how can you not love that? No, I like that movie. I like it a lot. I'll definitely touch on it more later because it's definitely on my list. Number 9 for me, staying with Fear Street, is Fear Street 1994. I thought they kicked things off in a pretty positive way. It is a little kiddie at times, but the cast meshes well. The chemistry is good. The movie is believable. I was confused, though, by the end of the first movie. I didn't really think there was any possible way for the movies to properly connect with one another and actually seem like it's telling a cohesive story. And I'm actually really glad to say I was very wrong about that. And I mean, the bread cutter kill, oh my God, in that movie, that's fucking just fabulous. Kill of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, the film was close to making my top 10. I didn't see the other 2. I've only seen 94. I actually did really like it. It was a little bit goofy and kind of like a teenagerish movie at some points, but I mean, the movie was about young kids, so it was I was fine with that. But yeah, some of the kills were good, and I really love the way it started out. They made it feel like the 90s really well, and I like the cliffhanger at the end. I thought was great. I just never got around to seeing the other 2.
No, I hope you do at some point. I think you'll like them. Number 9 for Kieran.
Number 9, I have The Little Things, which is a movie with Denzel Washington. It's got Remy Malek and Jared Leto in it. And this is one of the movies I just watched recently because I wanted to make sure I got some more in there. So I watched it a couple days ago. And the ending is not so great for this movie, but the acting is so amazing. Like between the three of them, having 3 actors the caliber of that, like all in such a small time story. There's not a lot of characters. It's mostly the 3 of them on stage, but there's a really great interrogation scene in that, which features all 3 of them. And honestly, like if we're doing top actors of all time, Denzel Washington is going to probably be in my top 5. I think he's so fantastic. I think he's amazing. Whatever. You probably got fucking Harrison Ford in yours.
Oh, Harrison Ford's a way better actor than Denzel Washington.
No, he's not. By far not. There's no way.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford does 1 or 2 things really well.
I like Denzel though. I don't think he's top 5 all the time.
Oh man, I think he's really high on my list. Anyways, I love everything he does.
He's the best actor in that movie.
Sorry?
I don't even think he's the best actor in that movie. So
Remy Malek is, I mean, I would like to see more from him to be able to make that call. I don't think I would ever say an actor today is the greatest. It would have to be an actor that's kind of past there. I don't judge anything like that. I don't judge sports players like that. Like I can debate LeBron and MJ right now, but like if there's like a basketball player that's played for 3 or 4 years, I'm never going to be like, well, he's better than. It's an incomplete story. So, anyways, but I would probably still put Denzel higher than whatever Remy Malek could end up doing.
The problem is when you start talking about greatest actors lists, you get a bunch of people that are fucking dicks who probably deserve to be canceled. But if you're just talking about their acting ability, they absolutely should be on those lists.
I have a couple issues with people who say that the best actor is this or that. If you want to tell me that someone is one of the greatest actors of all time, I need to see them be a good guy, be a bad guy, be happy, be angry, be sad. I won't ever tell you like, hey, actor A is like one of the greatest. And then you're like, but what is he? He's only done gangster movies in his entire life. Or he's only done, like he's only ever been an action hero, or he's only ever done comedy. Like I feel like a lot of actors get typecast and then you don't see that they're really that good at anything else. Like if you've never seen an actor be, cry and give you that sort of emotion where you're sad, excited, happy, there always have to be the bad guy and the good guy. That's more of an action film thing. But like, you have actors like Dennis Hopper is a really good actor. Dennis Hopper is the same actor in almost every movie. He's almost always the exact same. He's usually a villain. He's usually kind of an asshole. Like, he's really, really good at that. But, like, I would never put him in a top actor of all time list because he does that one thing super well. And that's, maybe he is a real asshole villain in real life, and it's really fucking easy for him to do that, right? I think you have to have actors who you've seen so many different things from to really call them the greatest.
I think they're like in Harrison Ford's case. I don't think he's the best actor of all time, but I think he's up there just because of some of the performances he's done that he doesn't get enough credit for, that he didn't do enough. Like Witness is a fucking brilliant movie, and he's brilliant in that, but that's not a typical Harrison Ford role.
I mean, The Fugitive. He's fantastic in The Fugitive.
There's another one. Oh my god, I can't remember it. But like, he has his wife, and it turns out like he's actually a killer, and he's like the villain in the movie, and it comes across so not like Harrison Ford at all, but yet really good. Gary Oldman is another example. I think somebody who can do basically whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, he's there. Gary Oldman would be on my list. It's the guy who played Lincoln. Daniel Day-Lewis is going to be on my list for sure. He's like ridiculous actor, fantastic. He could do anything.
Yeah,
and he could.
DiCaprio's up there too.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp back in the day would have been up there in my opinion.
I feel like Johnny Depp got there and then started just doing everything the same later on.
Yeah.
Like when he did Pirates and he did that character, I was like, wow, this is a fucking amazing character. How like, and then later you're like, he was the Native American character in the Lone Ranger or whatever, and he was the exact same. It was just he was just Captain Jack, except he was now a Native American, and it was like, oh yeah. And then he started just doing a lot of things where he was like you got to come up with a new character. Like you can't just continue to do the same thing.
Movie, like if we're talking later in his career, he did a movie with Angelina Jolie, and it's like a espionage spy type movie. And
I remember, yep.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good in that because he has like the big twist at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh, okay, you actually did fool me for the whole movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was good, but he definitely typecast towards the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I don't want to keep on going because we're in the middle of a list here, but like, if I haven't seen an actor like cry and smile and frown and do all the emotions like of a human being, then I feel like you can't put them up there. This would probably be a really good discussion for another show.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind going off topic here for a bit and talking actors. Tommy, what do you got at number 9, man?
I mind.
Oh, Muffin.
Yeah, Muffin. Did you just call me Muffin? Did you just give me a pet name?
I did.
Okay. I didn't know we were at that point, but all right. Hell. So a lot of folks know I'm a big manga, big anime fan and such. I read a lot more manga when I was younger. So this year they had a number of films. What was being critically received was they did an adaptation of a Sailor Moon arc into 2 different Netflix movies, Sailor Moon Eternal. And it kind of ties into a newer reboot they did of the series. I'm not going to talk about this for a year and a half, but anime often get like lots of filler stuff that doesn't work with the comics, work with the manga, right? They need more time with the TV, and plus it makes more money. So they didn't have that with this reboot. And the big reason they do these movies is because, hey, they came up with the idea movies make more money. They can put them in theaters. They can get the box office, whatever, even though if it doesn't generally work that way here in the U.S. So number 9, I combine these 2 Sailor Moon films, and they did an okay job, I think, of adapting the manga to, film, whatever, better than they did with the original series because they take a lot of liberties when they do stuff like that. It was all right. They've upped it a little bit, newer graphics, newer animation, I guess. It gets a little more drama heavy, a little more adult or not adult oriented, but I guess they up it to like more appropriate to like teens rather than little kids. So it was enjoyable, but definitely close. Fear Street 2 almost knocked it down to number 10.
All right. Number 8 on my list was Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. This as a movie is far from the best movie ever made, but this is a Resident Evil movie, in my opinion, is the best live action Resident Evil movie ever made. The closest adaptation to the video games. Really enjoyed the movie. Not necessarily fond of the changes they made to the Leon character to make the story work. Not the biggest fan of some of the things they took out either, but I knew that was going to happen when you're trying to crunch 2 video games into one movie that only had like an hour and 45-minute runtime. But all in all, and you know what else shows in this movie? Not to bring it up, but like the vid shows in this movie because you can tell like they used hardly any extras whatsoever, and I do think that is a problem in this movie. I don't know if you ever get the feeling that, like, you're near a zombie apocalypse at any point. So I do know this movie suffered from that and a lack of marketing, and yet I still think it found a way to be the most loyal and worthy of the Resident Evil live action movies.
Nice. That's another one I haven't seen. I don't think it would make my list because I'm pretty acting heavy. There's a couple of movies in here that don't have the greatest acting, but I'm pretty acting heavy. I feel like, well, you said it was okay though. You said it wasn't a big problem in that movie. That's the problem I expected with that movie. So
I didn't think the acting was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. My number 8 is the movie Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt in it.
I never got to see that. It looked decent though.
It honestly, I thought it was just going to be a random action movie, but there is, I know that you'll like it because there's some very important fatherly emotions in it. And so I'm pretty sure you'll get it the same way that I do, but there was a really great family story tied into it. I won't spoil it because you haven't seen it. I think you'll like it. You should watch it.
Awesome.
And I mean the creatures, the aliens in it were freaky. It was a very interesting premise that I think worked out really well being in the pandemic because it was kind of a worldwide event that is tied into this movie. And Chris Pratt is not the greatest actor ever or anything like that, but he puts in a really good performance. J.K. Simmons is in it, and he puts in a really good performance. I honestly thought the movie was just going to be kind of a random action movie, and turned out to be really good, and it meant a lot to me and to my wife. Really liked it as well. The story was told well, and it was emotional.
I heard there was some parallels to Tenet in that movie, so
I haven't seen that one either. So,
awesome, good stuff though. I'm not surprised. I think someone in the chat had the Tomorrow War as well. So
I saw that was number 10. I think it was Zach.
So that's
maybe
awesome.
I don't know.
Good stuff.
Someone's number 10.
Tommy B, what do you got at number 8?
Just want to give a post here in the chat a shout out. Ken had said that he wrote Batman. What is it called? The Long Halloween, I think it was.
I still haven't seen Long Halloween, man.
Me neither, but it's really interesting, right? Jensen Ackles voicing Batman.
I haven't seen it either yet.
Part 2 is on my. Part 2 I can get for free, but part 1 I can't. So I'll just go buy it. I went to go buy the part 1 and part 2 together. It was $50. I was like,
what the fuck?
Wow.
Fuck you, Best Buy.
What are they? Like an hour and a half, if that?
They're usually
an hour.
They're usually an hour and 15 minutes.
$50.
I think the Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2 were a little longer than that, but I think they were one-offs because of how classic they were.
Normally they cap them at 75. They're normally exactly 75. There are a couple that go over and under, but quite a bit of them are exactly 75. So I think that's the directive they give them.
Kieran puts the Tomorrow War on his list. Ken's like, yeah, fuck it, it's going down to number 10.
It was honestly it was way more than it looked like it was. It was quite a movie.
What do you got at 8, Tommy B?
My 8 came in at Black Widow. We don't need to rehash the conversation we just had with Kieran, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty good, but as I was saying to the wife when we were doing our recent MCU run through, it's not my favorite. You know, there are MCU movies I like. It's towards the bottom of me for the MCU movies, but I haven't really seen any that I particularly hated. It's just they're not the best.
I figured Black Widow would be down there. I had zero interest in seeing this movie whatsoever.
And you've never gotten around to seeing it, have you?
No, and I'm sure I will one day, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. It's like, okay, we know what happens to the character. Not that like prequels aren't cool. I do like them, but like a prequel so soon, it's like we just watched you die at Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for anyone who hasn't watched Hawkeye yet, do yourself a favor and watch it first.
I haven't watched Hawkeye either, so I know what happens, but I haven't watched it. So, number 7 for me. Here comes the hate. Halloween Kills is number 7 on my list.
Really? That low?
I gotta say, I thought this movie before we saw it would be way higher on my list. And then after we saw it, like I had to like really compare it to everything else I'd seen that year. And take the fact that I'm a Halloween fan out of the equation, you know? Not just what movie I thought's a better put together movie, but what I liked better. That's what my list is. And I couldn't say that Halloween Kills was better or I enjoyed it more than any of the 6 movies that are in front of it. With that said, I think Halloween Kills is a prime example of a movie that had a great script and didn't necessarily execute it in the best of ways. It's still a good movie. We just did a Patreon show. Matt joined me on it. And one of the things we talked about was the fact that, well, Halloween Kills is not my favorite Halloween movie. It's probably somewhere towards the lower end of my top 5, maybe even 5. I think when you look at Halloween Kills as a movie and the way that it's made, and even Halloween 2018, you'd be hard-pressed to say that there's any better Halloween movies made than the last 2 that have been released in terms of just motion picture quality. You know? They're not my favorite, but in terms of the best made movies, they're at the very least right there with the first one, if not even better in terms of the quality of cinema.
Well, if you think about, you know, quality compared to the time, they're still pretty high. Like I would still say they're only behind maybe the first, because the first movie was for you know, for what it was made on, it was really good and did really well, and you know, made 1 million times its budget, its tiny budget. So
Kenny had Malignant on his list. I never did get a chance to see that.
Never saw that one either. Actually, that was one of the ones I was going to try to fit in, but today I ended up doing too much because it was one of the few free movies I hadn't seen. But anyways, yeah, just like Kills isn't on my list. It was in the mix. I didn't put it on my list, and I think honestly, I now that it's rested and I've kind of thought about it enough, I think I liked 18 better.
It's close between the two. I think 18 is probably a better made film than Kills. I think I might enjoy Kills a little more just because getting to see Michael Myers do his thing. But I listened to this interview with Anthony Michael Hall, and he's being interviewed by Michael Rosenbaum. And he mentioned, you know, it's kind of hard because, like, for Halloween fans, even though Michael Myers is the villain to most movie fans, Halloween fans that go and watch these movies, most of us anyway, want to see Michael Myers live and kill people and do his thing. And it's like, it's hard to balance the two and still make the movie a good movie, which I thought was interesting. So,
yeah, no, I get it. I totally agree. I feel weird when people do that, when people say that about the, you know, people like romanticize about Michael and this and that. And I'm always on the fence that, like, in the original movies, I want they're Loomis movies for me. I'm like, Loomis is number 1 for me. Like, it's not Myers, so I don't feel that way, but I know a lot of people do.
It's another conversation Matt and I had. If you guys aren't subscribed to our Patreon, patreon.com/Fandom Empire, most recent episode of Lambkin Lane was Sunday night, and we actually talked about Loomis's importance to the Halloween franchise and some of the movies that have followed that up, and how it's definitely clearly missing Donald Pleasance since his passing in the 90s. So, Tommy, Kieran, what do you have at 7?
7. I have. Let me just make sure I got this right. I have the movie Bad Trip, which I don't know, probably not in anyone's top, but man, there's some parts in this movie that make me laugh so hard. It's very, very absurd, terrible humor. Like, 2 guys get their dicks caught in a Chinese finger trap and have to try and get them out during the movie. Like, it's totally stupid. I don't know if anybody is like into it was also, it's kind of a it's almost like the movie Bad Grandpa or whatever, the one that Johnny Knoxville did where he was the terrible old man grandpa. It's the same thing where it's a bunch of gags that they did in real life, but they tied in a movie story to it, and like kind of a whole plot. Or if you watch the Eric Andre show, like the Eric Andre show is really crazy and everything is very absurd and just basically makes you be like, how the fuck did this happen on TV? And that's kind of how this movie is. Everything is just very nuts and crazy, but I laughed so hard from it that I had to throw it in my list. And I don't know, if you're a big fan of crazy, absurd, over-the-top humor, then check out Bad Trip on Netflix.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. Tommy B, what do you have at 7 Men?
So, nice Bad Grandpa reference. My number 7 came in at Fear Street Part 3. That's where this ranked on my list.
All right, let's just talk about this now. I could talk about this movie later. But,
all right, what the hell? Why not?
Yeah, you go first. Why is it at number 7 on your list? Why is it on your list at all?
I understand a lot of folks have the frustration with the first part of the film. They didn't like it. I don't know if they thought the religious elements of society, more of, I guess it was Puritan culture, if I remember correctly, were too much. Maybe they just didn't jive with the plot or whatever. I personally enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed the satanic tie-ins of sorts. I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. And then it jumps back to the current time. Was in 94, I think it was, and just everything that's going on with that plot. They starred in the first movie, briefly revisited in the second movie, and now they have to tie it all up with a nice bow on top for the present, and so on and so forth. And I'm not gonna lie, it did skip a couple times. Miss its step a couple times, but I just overall enjoyed the film. I did enjoy number 1 more of the most of the 3, which I guess I'm the only one there, I guess. But I just don't see eye to eye with the criticism that the film does receive.
So what's some of the general criticism that I'm not sure I've read too much of it. What's some of the general criticism that the 1666 films received just from the public?
From what I've read, folks just don't like the way the movie is divided up. And like I said, I don't understand it completely. I guess they don't really jive with the whole first act, and I don't mean before I forget if it jumps into the flashback or immediately, or if you get a little bit of a lead in like you did with the second movie. But they, you go back in time and you get the story of whatever her name was it Sarah something? And you learn about the curse and everything that's going on with that. And you meet these characters and you learn about the family's descendants and stuff like that, everything that goes on, the magic at play. And you see like a glance at society during that era. It's very church or religious focused. If you're not marching to the beat of the drum, you're a witch. You're doing satanic stuff. You're gonna get killed. And I enjoy stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was well done. Where I felt that personally, they missed it a little bit. They missed their footing a couple times. Is it didn't feel like they had enough time left when they jumped back to modern day to wrap up the film. It felt like it was not paced the best during that second act, if I remember correctly. And that was, basically the worst part of it for me. But it was a good film, and nonetheless, I really enjoyed it.
I kind of think that's fair criticism, though, because I think one of the issues that I had with it was that, to me, when they were going back to 1994, they should have had like their own movie for that, and 1666 should have got its full whole movie. Instead of doing 3 parts, do 4 parts. I get it. A trilogy's cleaner. You can market a trilogy better, but I think that 4 parts would have allowed better flow.
Agreed.
Tommy, do you happen to, if I close this page on my phone, I'm not going to be able to find it. Do you happen to know what the release date was for Fear Street 1666? I don't know if you can pull that up here. I would like to play something for the
July
audience.
16, 2021.
July 16th. All right, I'm close.
Are you going in Messenger?
Oh, I've been on Messenger for the last 5 minutes trying to get to where it is. I'm really close.
You trying to find my original thoughts or your original thoughts?
I'm trying to find my original thoughts.
Are you? Oh, I was gonna say, are you looking back? I thought maybe you were arguing with someone.
No. I'm going through our chat trying to find a voice clip I sent you guys. I might have
you originally. So I'm gonna just start rehashing what I actually remember. You and Jade were watching the film. We were all kind of watching it at the same time, I think. And I think it was not, you weren't even 15 minutes in there, somewhere in there. You're like, this movie's a fucking piece of shit.
I think I remember that. I honestly think I remember it. I think I
have
remember
no
you
idea.
saying...
I have no idea what's about to play right now, but we're.
You're going to get us fucking banned.
Viewer discretion is advised.
So, hi guys. How's everyone doing tonight?
Listen, how many of y'all have watched...
Sean, you better consider if you want to keep playing this.
I need honest opinions here, because this is a piece of fucking shit.
We're really stoned. So, like, the ship has left the building. Wait, no, I don't think that's how you say it. Anyways, I really like the first 2 Fear Street movies. We're 29 minutes and 34 seconds into part 3, and it
has some fucking lesbian porn.
It dives all. Oh my god! This
you were started like 10 times there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm stoned. Sorry, guys.
So that was the live.
I knew it was fucking coming. I knew it.
You did that like 10 times.
There's a part 2. I'm scared, but let's see.
But wait, you need to clarify first that before you sent these messages to the group, y'all were, sending text messages to the group.
Yes.
I remember those. Yes.
Play on this movie again.
I don't want to finish watching it. I honestly don't.
The last time I see a movie this bad in a half an hour, or half an hour in, well, I'm fucking gone, but,
Do we have to watch this?
Yeah, we do gotta finish it.
I don't want to. This is painful to watch.
I know.
I don't fucking understand anything, and I really didn't understand why they had to have a fucking orgy and a little fucking... This more even the 29-minute mark. Are you kidding me?
When you're making a movie, it's a staple to have an orgy before the 29-minute mark.
I don't want to watch this. Personally victimized by this movie.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. This is all Matt's fault.
Okay, so I do believe in accountability, and I was perfectly sober during those messages, clearly. Anyways, I obviously was not sober when I watched 1666 the first time. I think even on a second watch through, I was like, no, I'm just... And then something made me want to watch it a third time, and something made me want to watch it a fourth time. And this movie grew on me. I have never in my life been so wrong about a movie as I was with this one, because I thought I hated it, and it was clear I was just too fucking intoxicated to understand what the hell was going on. and it grew on me, and I really like 1666, and it is on my list. And in fact, it is the highest Fear Street movie on my list. And we'll get to it when we get to it. So yeah, I get what you're saying there, Tommy. I do.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the criticism goes towards the first part of the film. Folks just don't like the plot of it. And, you know, there are a couple pacing issues. We talked about that already. But honestly, I like the plot twist they do. I like how they wrap it up. I like, you know, the overall story of it. And it has an interesting-ish ending. You know, it's pretty good. Good overall. There's a reason that all three made my list.
Number 6 on my list is Denis Villeneuve's Dune. This movie, while it is definitely slow, and I don't think it gets its big payoff, visually speaking and sound design wise, is everything I pray we one day get for Star Wars. I truly believe that, and I was into the movie. And I'm curious to see how part 2 ends up being. I do think, though, that that's the type of movie that you cannot watch at home and get the exact same experience as you got in a movie theater. Just my opinion. Kieran, what do you got at 6, man?
6, I have Raya and the Last Dragon, Disney movie. Might have to sleep in the studio tonight. I actually really like this one. And I kind of wanted to put Shang-Chi in my list, and a lot of that was to do with the actress Awkwafina. But like this was an even better movie where she was in. I thought she,
like the water.
Yeah, that's one name too. Okay. The girl who is Shang-Chi's best friend in that movie is played by someone whose name is Awkwafina. One word. Anyways, I'm not sure where that comes from. I don't know if it's like a
I apologize
comedy
for any noise that the audience is about to hear.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, the studio door is about to open.
Sean's about to get destroyed live on air.
So this was a great. It was an amazing movie, and she was amazing in it. She's super funny. I can see her turning out to be an absolute superstar actress because she's been great in everything I've seen her in so far. The movie was good, and I remember specifically being like, I'm not really excited for a lot of new Disney movies or a lot of new even Pixar, any or Dream Studios or any of those kids movies. Like, I haven't really been excited for a lot of them lately, and I thought this one was particularly good. So it's number 6 on my list.
I just got Flip the Bird for about the last. I'm still getting Flip the Bird apparently. For the last.
You deserve it.
I think I was just providing evidence and taking some accountability for a terrible opinion that I had earlier.
She had a lot of complaining about the sex scenes and the orgies in that film.
Tommy says you had a lot of complaining about the sex scenes and the orgies. What's up with that? I don't know what that means. I don't.
All right. So, for number 6, I'm assuming it's going to be higher on Sean's list. This is where I ranked Bo Burnham's Inside. Honestly, I was really... I debated, Sean, if we really wanted to call this a movie.
Save it. We'll talk about this when it comes time to talk about it.
I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
To be clear, it's not a normal movie, motion picture film, but at the same time, it has a middle, beginning, and an end. It's rated on Rotten Tomatoes as a movie. It had a theatrical release. It tells a narrative.
My dick has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Doesn't make it a movie.
Does it really have a beginning? It'd be
quite defined too.
Solid Saturn says Sean getting beat by Jade would be comedy gold.
I've seen it. It's pretty funny.
All right, let's move on to our top 5. Number 5 for me, Tommy mentioned it earlier, Fear Street 1978. Yes, I know before I said I thought the Fear Street trilogy as a whole was better than Halloween Kills. I firmly believe Fear Street 1978 is a better put together movie and a more enjoyable movie than Halloween Kills. It's not bashing Halloween Kills. I enjoyed watching it. I'll enjoy watching it again. I think the whole extended cut BS that they pulled is just some really unfaithful marketing. But to put the focus on Fear Street 1978, like, it felt like, hey, we're watching this random late 70s, early 80s slasher again, but it's made today. And it felt like those, 70s, early 80s slashers. And the soundtrack on it was amazing. And the cast was great too. And I will say this, though, after seeing 78, I was having a bit of a hard time, like, tying it all together. Like, I didn't understand why 78 got its own movie based off of something that happens at the end of 1994. But you eventually get there and you get why they have their own movie. And it was good. I really liked it. And I hope, I know Mike said it's rumored, but I hope there's more Fear Street movies. Not necessarily the same cast or whatever, but give us another trilogy with another cool story like that. We got at 5, Kieran.
At 5, I have the Suicide Squad.
Nice.
And I talked about it earlier. Was a vast improvement in story, and I went back and watched it not too long ago, and it's entertaining. It's a very entertaining movie. It's made just like you would have expect James Gunn to make. Any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. They're a little bit off the beaten path or whatever when it comes to superhero movies, and they do a lot of really fun stuff.
I enjoyed it. I did. I didn't enjoy it enough to put number 5 on my list, but it made the list. Tommy, what do you have, man? What starts your top 5?
It was close. It was going to be 4, but it became number 5. It was really close. This is where I threw Kills on my list.
Nice. And
but apparently it's only number 7 on your list.
Not even on Kieran's.
Yeah. I mean, like, I came all the way to the land of the Maple Leaf. I graced you with my presence. And it didn't even make Kieran's list. And it didn't even make your top 5.
Your presence was the best part of Halloween Kills, you grumpy old fuck.
Honestly, at the bottom of my list, I have here Halloween Kills, Mortal Kombat, Shang-Chi, Carnage, Space Jam, and Free Guy were all movies that I enjoyed, but didn't make the cut.
And not in that order. Mortal Kombat didn't, because I remember you being quite fond of Mortal Kombat when it came out.
I was it was better than I expected in a lot of ways, but it was also not as good in a lot. I don't know. It wasn't a great movie. It was. Oh my God, Hell's Game. Oh my God.
Man.
What a piece of shit.
Number 4 for me is... Wait, hang on. Did Tommy give his 5? Yeah, he did. Number 4 for me is Fear Street 1666. I really, really like this movie. And I really obviously didn't like this movie as I was watching it. So boy, how things can change. My biggest knock on this movie is I think this movie absolutely could have explored more in 1666, and I wish we would have got to spend more time with that character. I like the way 1666 was playing out, and it's kind of, numbing almost to know that it was like 300 plus years later before, that character ever, I don't want to say reappears because I don't want to spoil it for Kieran, but like before, like you get any resolution, the fact that really the story did start in 1666, and the idea that it was 300 plus years is something else. I also thought that 1666, Tommy, I don't know if you agree with this, had some pretty dark moments in it, especially like when you're in the year 1666.
Yeah, for sure.
And it happens on the drop of a dime too, right? Like you get into some sketchy shit. I don't want to spoil any of it for Kieran because I think he'd really enjoy some of it. But yeah, no, you go from like just living your life to, everything's crazy within like a 48-hour period, and you're basically running for your life from everyone that you knew and loved. So I really dig 1666. Was it the highest on your list or no? I can't remember.
Mine?
For Fear Street movies, or was it
Fear
second
Street
highest?
one's coming up soon.
Oh, so you got 94, 66, 78 is the way your list goes.
Yes.
Nice. And you had contemplated putting these movies together just as one sitting on your list.
I didn't originally. I don't like having this many films on one list, especially a top 10. But the fact is, these films kicked ass. I have no problem admitting that. I mean, it's kind of weird how Netflix released them. I still don't really understand the way they did it, because they had one come out one week, and then they had two come out the next week, and then I think it was the third week they came out with the third one. Like, if you were trying to do this to build up your subscribers or something, they should have at least did it like the next month or next quarter or something like that. That's just my opinion. You know, I'm not an executive. I don't work in streaming services or anything like that. But it just doesn't make sense to me to release these three films that quickly. It was kind of weird, but yeah.
I liked it, though. I honestly loved the way that they were released 1 week, and I loved that it was a streaming service that bought the movies, and I'm thrilled with that. I love.
We watched the first one here. We were on vacation when we watched the second one. Actually, I think you made me come on a stream shortly thereafter, and I'm in a friggin' hotel room on a stream talking about the movie. And then they had the third one the following week, and
I dug that.
It's like you say, you know, it's cool they released it because Netflix don't usually release shit that way. Netflix usually releases stuff like at most, or at the minimum, half seasons, and then they'll release the following half. So if it was like an episodic thing, I'd get it. But it's kind of weird, right? They're full-length movies.
Kieran, what do you have at 4, man?
Number 4, this is a surprise one. It's The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is, I think it's a Netflix exclusive, but it's a kids movie. Honestly, if you guys, anyone who has a family should watch this movie. It's amazing. It's all about parents, the difference between parents and kids. Kids use their phones for everything. And, it has that sort of throughout the movie, but it also has a lot of like understanding your kids and not, making sure you connect with your kids and see, what they're good at and supporting them. And it's got a great adventure in it. It's got lots of laughs. It's the funniest kids movie that I've seen in forever. Like I said that about The Ray and the Last Dragon, but that's because I didn't want to spoil that this was on higher on my list. Fantastic movie. And this is a movie I will watch with my kids over and over again. It's honestly, it's done so well. There's a lot of really neat cutscenes and a lot of artistic stuff done in it. There's a lot of hilarious things that happen. Their dog, they have a dog who's a pug in it, and it's like absolutely hilarious what happens with this dog throughout the movie. And it's very heartfelt, very action-packed, very artistic. And I thought it was fantastic. It really, I didn't even know it was going to be in my top 10. And then I looked at movies and I was like, this is a movie I would want to watch again every year. I'll watch it with the kids whenever they want to watch it. Like, it was really that good. And so anyone who likes kids movies, I'd love to see what Mike Bish thinks about this movie if he's seen it, because I know he likes animated movies as well. I really thought it was the top animated movie of the year by far.
I'm surprised that, I'm not the one here who has all these animated movies on the list. Yeah, Kieran, we watched it. I wasn't quite excited about the premise of it at first. It was really enjoyable. I didn't end up with all my list, but yeah, Mitchell's Machines, Luca, and Encanto. I just saw that one last night. Then there was another one on here. Oh, and Raya, of course. They were all good films. I really enjoyed them. They're just not films that I end up throwing like on my. I could go and turn this on right now and really want to watch this sort of thing, I probably wouldn't pay attention. But they were great films overall, and I'll probably sit down and watch them again eventually.
Yeah, I really liked that one. I thought it was great.
I've never heard of it, but it sounds interesting. Gonna give it a try.
It's good. I would give it a try, even if you were just watching it. Even if you're just watching it with Jensen, and obviously Jensen doesn't get a lot from movies at the moment, except Baby Shark, of course. I think it would be a fun watch.
Awesome.
Couple folks in the chat have referred that they've also enjoyed that film in particular.
Tommy Bizzle, what do you got at number 4, man?
My number 4 is where I ended up throwing Fear Street Part 1. Yeah.
Nice.
I guess I'm alone here. I thought that was the best one. I love the entry into the whole story and the way they did it and everything that you come with it. One of these days, I'm going to sit down and do a watch through of those again. Maybe I'll wait till next October-ish. Who knows? But we'll see.
I think the next time I watch them, I'd like to do it in one sitting. 94, 78, 66.
They're only like an hour and a half each, maybe 1 to 2 hours, right?
We could get together for that maybe, since I haven't seen the two of them.
That'd be cool. I'll make sure I'm not completely fucked out of my mind for 1666 again, so I change it.
Well, or I could just catch up to you and also be. We could just totally be. Yeah.
Part 2 of the recordings. Yeah, no, I like 94. 94 was good. It was a lot of fun. Glad we wait, no, Kieran didn't have it on his list, right?
I didn't have it on my list. It was the one. Well, I did like it. I did like it quite a bit. I didn't see it in any lists that recapped 2021 movies, so I didn't put it on any of my list. I don't think it would have made it though. Anyways,
it's podium.
I did quite enjoy it.
Top 3. Controversy strikes. Number 3 for me, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I thought it was a great movie. It gets a little choppy at times, but awesome movie. Spoiler alert, by the way. Obviously, everything with the big 3 in the movie is fantastic, and the chemistry is great. And someone pointed out to me that if you take these 3 movies, it's kind of like his arc of becoming the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man at the end. Because he goes from big MCU guy to, hey, he's just Spider-Man at the end, and nobody knows him. So I dug it. And I mean, I loved Garfield in the movie. I thought he was a show stealer with Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe. I thought Maguire was good too. It was a big event movie, and I think the box office results are showing that.
Yeah, it's also my number 3. Yeah, fantastic movie. I thought Molina stole the show for a lot of it, and I thought that anyone whose performance wasn't the greatest, like, picked up. Like, when I was like, I don't know if I'm into this, and like when I first saw Toby, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but he was awesome straight towards the end. Once he put the Spider-Man suit on, he was even better. The chemistry that they had between them was fantastic, and I thought there's like when we came on here to talk about it, there was almost, we had to really dig to say anything bad about the movie. Like,
for sure,
it was hard to get by and say 10 things good about it, and then we're like, well, we better say something bad about it.
We actually have a list of alternate scenes that were cut from the movie, deleted scenes, and an alternate ending that we're going to talk about on the next episode of Inside Fandom, which will be in the next couple of days. So
very exciting. Very exciting. Anyways, number 3 on my list.
Nice. Tommy B, what do you got at 3?
My number 3 came in at, get ready, because I'm going to make Kieran pop a blood vessel. Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings. Look, I understand the criticisms this movie gets. I obviously don't understand too much because I don't agree with them, but I don't fucking care about the whole Marvel formula thing. You got to introduce new characters. And I really jived with, the characters that were brought in with this film. I'm looking forward to seeing them again in the future. Shang-Chi keeps getting brought up more and more and more. Folks want to see him again and again and again. And they're really pitching some funny places to see him, but I think he they're gonna use him again in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think he ended up getting an award, or maybe he was just a nominated. The film was, it was a celebrated film, and I think that's just a little more for more reasons than just because it was a Marvel film. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and it's just nice to see an origin story go maybe a slightly different direction. You got to see a little more light shed on, the 10 rings. You got to see
that was
the
my
Mandarin.
whole problem. That was my whole problem with the movie is, they did the Mandarin wrong the first time, but it wasn't supposed to be the Mandarin the first time. It wasn't really that great. Again, like the 10 rings were giant armbands. That's not like that. That's like they were actual rings on your finger. Like, I don't get why they did that. I don't understand why. And it seemed very action figure-ish to me to do that. It was, kind of.
I'm not going to lie. I've never read those comics.
Yeah, the rings, there's supposed to be like 10 of those. And they all have a magic power. Like what? They're like the Time Stone, or they're like the Infinity Stones. They're kind of like that, and they had different powers. And
I don't know why they went that direction then, but I'll tell you.
I don't. Yeah, I don't get that at all. I did like that they did a lot of traditional, like traditional.
They
Japanese
brought a lot of stuff
things.
from Chinese mythology in there.
Yeah.
I kind of I was chuckling a little bit when they're like, oh, "It's a Pokemon." And they had I don't know what the fox creature is, but it's based Ninetales, one of the original Pokemon is based off of it. So that was pretty humorous. I was enjoying those memes for a while. I didn't catch the movie until it was on Disney Plus. I think that was a couple months ago at this point or so. But I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to watching it again at some point in the nearish future. The wife and I, we've continued our MCU watch through where we just got done watching the first 3 episodes of WandaVision before coming on here.
Solid Saturn says Tobey Maguire was a bit dorky at first. My response to that would be, have you seen his 3 movies?
He was always dorky.
I mean, for real, that's literally how he personified Spider-Man.
He's the dorkiest of the 3 for sure. All right. I guess it's time for a penultimate. Number 2 for me. This is probably the hardest fight I had, was who gets number 2. 1, 2, and 3 were all actually kind of hard. But once I knew what number 1 was, definitely it came down to these 2 for number 2. And I just, as much as I love No Way Home, I could not sit there and say No Way Home was a better film than No Time to Die. And I could not say I liked No Way Home better than No Time to Die. I think James Bond, No Time to Die, 007, whatever, Daniel Craig's final appearance as James Bond was just breathtaking, and it added layers to the Bond character that we usually don't ever get to see. And it just hit close to home. And then they made damn sure to, do certain something at the end of the movie. That was definitely Craig's last Bond film. Let's just say that. Kieran, what do you have at number 2?
Yeah, it was also my number 2. I really enjoyed the whole run, the whole Daniel Craig run. I really loved Casino Royale. Right off from the start, I was like, this is the fucking best Bond movie I've ever seen. Like, and I am a big Bond fan. I've seen them all. I like them all. I have 2 of the 4 box sets, so I have at least 10 of them on movie, on film, or on DVD. It was really well made, and it may even be the best of the Daniel Craig films.
It's that or Casino Royale, in my opinion.
Yeah, that would be mine too. And yeah, it just hit really hard at the end, and and a lot of the revelations. I know there was a lot in the last couple movies too, revelations about James Bond's past and how he came to be, and they really fleshed out the character as if these 5 movies were the only Bond movies. Like, they really told a whole solid story, you know, about who James Bond was and is, and I thought it was fantastic. It was great. There was lots of great acting performances, and it also tied all the movies in together. You had to see all of them to know about every part of this. There was characters and moments and flashbacks to all the movies. They tied it together so well, and like, you know, Christoph Waltz and Remy Malek's parts in it were almost minimized when you thought about how many great things happen in these movies. And those guys are fantastic actors and
Brilliant.
And you know, to have them only kind of come up in the background after so many amazing parts and things that were revealed in the movie it's crazy when your background is filled with amazing things like that too. So yeah, fantastic movie. Yep.
Tommy, what do you have at number 2, man?
My number 2 came in at Ghostbusters Afterlife. I've never been a huge Ghostbusters fan. I kind of assume at times like it skipped my generation. I guess they had a cartoon or something around, but like there weren't any big movie releases or anything like that as far as I'm aware. The franchise is kind of a mess. That's not a secret. So I ended up going ahead and I watched the first Ghostbusters film the day before. I ended up going and seeing this with like a work function. Free movie, right? Cool looking one at that. Got good reviews, so I went to it. And it was fucking great. Wonderful. Enjoyed it. One of the best things I could have done was watching the original movie right before it. It pays homage to the original actors, the franchise as a whole, and it's just up there. So that's where that's my number 2 for films this year.
Awesome. All right, it's time for my number 1. Obviously, at this point, we're not going to see Johnny or Mike tonight. I have no idea what happened to Johnny. But I do know Mike's situation is very serious. So our thoughts are with you tonight, Mike, and hopefully everything ends up okay, dude. My number 1, and I know it won't make Kieran happy. Tommy had it on his list too. Is Inside by Bo Burnham. And if someone would have asked me this time last year, like, I didn't know that special was coming. I didn't know who Bo Burnham was this time last year. I would have said, no, that's not a fucking movie. I mean, you can have it on your list. It's your list, but that's not a fucking movie. It hit me different. The first time I seen Inside, I wasn't watching it. I was busy doing something, and it was basically background noise, and Jade was watching it. And then, like, I caught myself turning my attention away to the TV way more than I normally do. Usually I get zoned into something, and that's just what I'm doing. And Jade's like, do you want to watch this with me from the beginning? 99% of the time I'd say no. Like, just no, it's cool. And just something in me was like, yeah, sure. And we watched it, and it just blew my fucking mind. Not only is it musical genius, it's comedy. The songs are fun and catchy. But honestly, the most important thing about Inside is it's very real. And even though I don't know Bo Burnham myself, never knew of him, I've got to do a lot of studying in the last half year on him. And it seems like he's just a super straightforward person. He is who he is. And just like the subject material that Inside deals with and what we've all had to deal with for the last 2 years and then probably more here, just hit home. If you're someone who suffers from depression, then I suggest you need to watch this and really pay attention to what's going on during this. I can see how some people might scoff at it and be like, it's just fun, catchy songs. But like, if you struggle with depression, take a second with nobody else around and go watch Inside with Bo Burnham from the beginning to the end. And it resonated with me in a way that I never thought it would. It's the most influential piece of media that I've seen in my life in probably a decade. So to me, there was the only thing that stopped me from wanting to put this at number one was the fact that No Way Home and No Time to Die are
movies,
theatrical films, and not just like good ones. They're great ones. They're both great movies. So it's like I feel like I was doing a disservice to them to not put them at number one. But honestly, Inside does have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It was released in theaters. It's rated on Rotten Tomatoes. For me, it's my favorite piece of film media released this year. I get why people might not like why it's number one on their list, on my list, or number 5 on Tommy's. I think it was 5.
Yeah, it was somewhere about that. Yeah.
It just it did so much good for my own mental health this year, and I hope
you weren't interested in watching it.
Oh, I can honestly say I've seen his other stuff. Like, obviously, when you watch the one, it's like, okay, you're going to go check the other stuff out. To me, and I know a lot will disagree with this, none of his other stuff is anywhere remotely close to being as good as Inside because of what Inside speaks to and what it delves into and deals with. But yeah, Bo Burnham's Inside, number one for me, and I never would have guessed that ever. Didn't even know it was a thing. So,
and we wouldn't be sending the film off without a proper thank you, goodbye, whatever, if we didn't mention that I had talked about it for like a month or 2, something like that. I don't even remember anymore. It's been so
I probably just zoned it all out.
Yeah, and you fucking ignored me. I'm pretty sure we did it on air. But no, fuck you, Tommy. It don't matter. Nah, I ain't gonna watch that shit.
It makes this worse for me because, like, I would never put this on a list because it's not a movie in any way, shape, or form to me. Like, it's not even in the category at all to me. But also, Sean ruined this movie for me. So, because he plays the songs from it every single time I see him, he's playing a song from this. Like, every time. I've heard them all so many times.
You know what's funny? He said this, but the last couple times we've been in like the green room, there's been no Bo Burnham in the green room for.
It has been a while. Yeah, it has been a while.
Talking about game night, playing that game.
But we hang out like twice a month, and we listen to the whole album every time.
You're not high enough. It's perfect high music. Jeez, you sound a lot like someone else there.
I went.
Where is that guy, anyways? Hopefully, he's going to have a good New Year.
The United States.
He's in the States. Oh, good.
Honestly, you're making me have like a crisis.
Florida.
A crisis of consciousness. Oh.
He's in Florida. He's looking for some alligators.
We might find him soon.
Hang on. Looking forward to it. Before you guys go, I just want to confirm something. Tommy, where did you have No Way Home, or have you not had it yet?
No Way Home is number 1 for me.
Okay, so you'll get
my absolute favorite cinematic experience this year. It was great. We saw it Friday release night. I haven't seen all the Spider films. I haven't seen the Garfield stuff. Maybe the first one at one point, to be honest with you, but I wasn't nearly as invested as the Maguire films, the original 3. And I just got to say, as an MCU fan, as a fan of those original 3 films, as a fan of the Spider-Man character, this is probably going to be very high up there for me with all the Spider-Man content ever released, period. Maybe I don't know about number 1, because it's still recency bias and such. But this is kind of like a very nice culmination of everything that has been released Spider-Man within the last 20 years or so, something like that. It's great.
I mean, greediness would have me wanting more Toby and Andrew. But when you remember whose movie it is and the story that's being told, they were in the movie like just the perfect amount of time. Like they get the last third of the movie.
More than I thought they were going to be. I'll tell you that.
I know that I predicted that they would just be there to give him advice when I first found out they would be in it. I thought they'd be there. and they did give him advice. But that scene where they talked to him and docked him out of the dumps, and I thought they would have more of that role. I didn't think they would have the role in the final scene where they were every bit as much a part of the end scene as Dickleberry there.
They really did have extremely pivotal roles in the movie. I know some people were thinking that wasn't going to happen, but it did. I can honestly say I have absolutely no idea, because Kieran already had No Way Home. I have no idea what your number one movie is.
All right, so my number one movie came out on February 7th, 2021, and it had a beginning, a middle, and the end. It was shown in the theaters. It was the Super Bowl, where Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, and I just decided, as long as we're just going to make up whatever we can put in this list, my number one, starring Tom Brady, starting Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans, and some of the guys from. So there was a villain in it.
Super Bowl is fixed.
There was a villain in it. There was the Patrick Mahomes was a fantastic villain in this game, but he kind of got his ass beat a lot. So,
what movie theater did you see the Super Bowl in?
You can watch the Super Bowl in Cineplex. You can. No, actually, I knew. You know what? I didn't know if I was going to do this or not, and then Tommy put it on his list. That stupid fucking comedy special. Documentary, whatever you want to call it, not a movie. So I decided to do it. But in reality, No Time to Die was my number one. Spider-Man No Way Home was my number two. The movie I edited out there was I took out my number five, which is actually a movie I saw with Sean, The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
That almost made my list. Yeah,
that was my number five. It's so fucking hilarious. It's so good.
So good. They're so good in that movie, and it's way better.
Storytelling wise or acting wise, it's whatever. Like, it's got good actors in it, but it's not really a piece of emotional, drama or anything like that. It's just fucking hilarious. And Selma Hayek stole the show in that one. She was so fucking hilarious, just yelling and screaming at people.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I honestly. Sorry?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, I could see, why she would be the center of attention for a bit in that movie for more reasons than one.
Yeah, well, I get that. However, her yelling and
about it in the movie several times.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyways, yeah, I thought that movie was amazing, and it was a great experience. It was a fun double date we had too, so that probably added to it.
Morgan Freeman's such a dick in that movie.
Sorry?
Morgan Freeman, he's such a dick in that movie.
Yeah.
Speaking of great actors, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he is definitely a fantastic actor. I would definitely have him somewhere in there too.
Wow. Well, ladies,
you would have Morgan Freeman somewhere in there.
Can we go now?
There.
That's what he just said. I
think Tommy might have got into the ganja.
Just 4.5 more hours, a little less than that.
I thought you would have been finished your Canadian stash by now, Tommy, or I didn't realize you bought that much when you were up here.
Book of Boba Fett. That's the only green I'm interested in seeing right now. Unless they don't want to throw some money at me, because that'd be great too. I'll take some money.
I'm supposed to be up at like 10 to 5 in the morning, but I think I might wake up earlier and just watch it when it comes out. And I mean, I know why Kieran wouldn't. I mean, it's a Boba Fett show. I'm actually really curious to see how he's going to take all this in.
He probably isn't going to fucking watch it.
We'll find out. I'm really into Star Wars right now. Really into Star Wars. I've read a couple books. I'm in the middle of a High Republic book, and I just bought another High Republic book to follow it up with. So I'm really into Star Wars right now, and I'm excited about the Book of Boba Fett. I think it will give me.
Kieran, are you on book 3 of the regular novels?
I'm on
2, aren't you? If you're in Into the Dark.
You just
I'm
bought
on-
a third one, so
I'm
are
on
you on
book-
book 2?
I'm on book 2 of the adult ones. I'm on book 1 of the young adult. I'm at book 2 in the like 9 to 12-year-olds book, and I have both of the children's books. Got for my
is
son.
Light of the Jedi, the first adult novel,
Yeah.
still the best thing? Yes. Okay.
It's the best one so far.
I heard the new one, something Storm or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one I'm reading now.
Wait, you're reading that before Into the Dark?
Yeah, I am.
Does that one happen after Into the Dark?
Yeah, it does. But I was reading the adult books. It follows the adult book though.
Anyway, I heard that the new one, the one that you're reading now, is just fucking really, really good, and people have a lot of praise for it, and think it's one of, if not the best Star Wars novel in the new era. So I can't wait to dive into that.
I think that book of Boba Fett is going to give me the type of Boba Fett that I want, which is like an underworld mercenary, not a fucking... He shouldn't be along for the good guy ride, and he shouldn't be fucking murdering a million stormtroopers and
So
being
help
some
God,
kind of fucking superhero.
if we see 7 25-minute episodes, I'm just going to be like, fuck you, Disney. Come on. Come on.
I don't think we've been given an inkling about runtimes, have we? I don't
No,
know
they've kept their
anything.
mouths shut since the last couple of issues. So
I'll say the same thing as I said before when we were on Star Wars. If they're good, I don't care. I don't care what the runtime is. If I enjoy it, I don't care.
I'm curious how much time has passed, because a lot of the rumors going around right now are Mando season 3 has a significant time jump from season 2. So, and we're not talking months. It sounds like it's years. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Kieran, we have a lot coming up in 2022, man. We're going to be talking House of the Empire. It's a Game of Thrones / House of the Dragon show that you, Zach, and I, and whoever else wants to get on board on that, will be doing. There'll probably be a 10-episode first season earlier in the year that just recaps Game of Thrones, and then we'll probably have a 13-episode series to recap the episodes after they come out this year. So looking forward to that and staying on top of all Game of Thrones news. We haven't finalized details on what's happening for our Thursday show yet, but it sounds like it might be some sort of movie debate / movie battle show, which could get fun. And yeah, just honestly, a lot happening, and we'll get to it when we get to it. And more Rick and Morty. So it sounds like, from what I read yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, that they should have a new season out next year. So Rick and Morty will be back. Kieran, where can everybody find you at, man? What do you got going on?
I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back to social media.
Bye.
You can still find me on Facebook. To be honest, you can find me on Facebook. I still go there occasionally. I just don't jibber jabber with people no more. So you can find me on Facebook. You can find, if you really want to find me to be like, you know what, I need to find out Kieran's opinion on this or that, you can go to Fandom Empire Den. You can add me. I'll add you as a friend. So as for what's coming up, I'm getting in good shape. I'm gonna try and make 2022 my best year yet. So and I encourage everyone else to do that too. Like don't waste time. Keep working hard. Work on your dreams. Make yourself a better person in 2022. I think it's really important for any human being to constantly work on yourself. You're not a finished product. You can always be better, and make 2022 your best year. Except Tommy, he's about as fucking good as he's gonna get. That piece of shit.
What do you do if you're already the best?
Exactly. See, I knew that. I knew that about you, you piece of shit.
Tommy, where can everybody find you?
Fucking took the words out of my fucking mouth. What do you do if you're already the best?
I'll let you know when I get there.
Fuck. Hey, everybody, you can find me hanging around Twitter and Instagram at TommyB1650. Reluctantly, I'm still on Facebook, about the same. If you want to add me, you can do that. Just please say, like, who you are. Please say Fandom Empire. Please say something. Please don't just message me and say, oh, no, I don't like your YouTube channel. I don't know you from there. Just please join my random fucking Facebook group. I don't want to join random Facebook groups. I have too much of that shit already. And I don't even like Facebook too much.
I still remember Pumpkin Man Forever added me at one time just with his regular name, and I was like, who the fuck are you? And I had to confirm with Sean, like, who is this guy? And yeah,
I tend to stockpile friend requests. I don't go through them all. I let them
stay. So you collect them like hockey cards, huh?
Yeah, like for a few weeks usually. And then I have like fucking 15, 20 some, maybe even more friend requests I have to go through. And I get lots of friend requests for various different reasons. Some of them are fucking trolls.
What else do you collect, like hockey cards?
Fat blunts.
Books. I have lots of books. I have Funko Pops. Lots of Funko Pops. Bunch of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Good shit. Hey guys, gals out there, New Year's Eve is right around the corner. I don't know if anybody else's family has been affected by drinking and driving. I know mine has. And I just want to tell everybody that if you're thinking about doing it, don't. You maybe you won't hurt yourself, but you could kill someone else or hurt someone else, or someone else could do it to you. Be safe, be aware, enjoy New Year's Eve, get fucked, but be responsible too. For Johnny, who knows where the fuck you are, and Mike, we're thinking of you, man. We'll be back. We'll see you next year.
Fucking Johnny.
Fuck that guy. Oh, man. Last time I seen someone that sucky, it was Tommy B.
I'm the best. The best. I am the best.
Hi guys, this is Terrence, Fandom Empire, and you're watching Fandom Empire Live, which Sean didn't invite me to, so it's probably going to be a piece of shit!